My favorite way to spend an evening is to light a fire in the fireplace and curl up in my recliner with a good book. And the stress just goes out of my body. And at moments like that, you know, everything seems right in the world. And you think, oh, you know, I don't have any problems right now. But eventually, you must get up out of your recliner. And problems do come. You have these little tiny pebbles, and then you have these great big boulders. And I think we will start by discussing the little pebbles. And what you have probably decided to do is to divide the household chores with your husband. Now I see some laughs out there already. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my husband's housekeeping abilities. We've been married 15 years, it's the second marriage for both of us. And when we got engaged, just before we went on our honeymoon, I had to move everything of his into my house. And I was looking through the cupboards and I said, "Where are your pots and pans, Dick?" And he said, "I don't own any." Oh. I thought, you were single for 12 years and you don't own any pots and pans? So then I looked in his drawers. I couldn't find so much as a fork. There was no silverware anywhere. I said, "Where is your silverware?" And he put his hands on his hips and he said, "Honey bun, if you take it home, they give you a plastic fork." I thought, what am I getting myself into? I never would have thought to pray for a man who reads the Bible with a Greek lexicon, who does crossword puzzles in ink, but he is a better editor of my writing than any of my staff are. And he is so supportive of everything that I do. But often we have bigger problems in our lives. Perhaps you have had an illness. Maybe you've had a child who is ill, or a spouse or a parent. And I'll share a story with you that is probably one of the most difficult things I have ever gone through. 2 years ago, my husband and I were camping in the Sierras with our 40-year-old special needs, I say child, he's 40 years old, and our big furry dog. And my husband kept getting these stomach cramps, and we thought, what is wrong with him? I tripped going out of the trailer one day and sprained my ankle. It turned out I cracked my foot too, so I'm limping around and he's doubled over. And by the third night, he woke me up at midnight and he said, "I am in the worst pain I've ever been in my life." And we took off down the mountain, found a hospital in Fresno. He was running a horrendous fever, he was in agony, they had him out on morphine. And so I thought, I better go get myself something to eat. So I found Church's chicken, appropriately enough. Sat down at a table next to a woman who was in a wheelchair that only had one leg. And I shared this tale of woe with her. And she said, "Honey, there's nowhere to stay around here." She said, "If you're going to be here very long, you come stay with me." I went back to the hospital, found out that his intestine had wrapped around his gallbladder and it had gone gangrene. And they said if we would have waited till morning, he would have been dead. And it turned out he was in the hospital for 12 days. And so the next day I called Laura and said, "I would like to come stay with you." So this angel took care of me for those 12 days. And in the midst of this horrible trauma, we saw God in so many places.